is it not working? Oh, maybe it is working. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Can you guys hear me? Let's see. A little bit of a delay here. Let's see. Ah, you can hear me. See? I'm learning. Can you guys hear me? I'm learning my switches. Hello, 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 hello. Can you guys hear me? All right, let me turn the volume down because there's a little bit of a delay. All right, how you guys doing? Now, I didn't get a chance to put dungeon on the on this tag here, so sorry about that. But at least I'm starting to figure it out now. I'm streaming live right now on my Sowers Skywatch.com digital platform, Roku, YouTube, and right here on Facebook. So see that? I'm starting to figure it out. Hopefully, we're in a good spot here and I don't have to worry about connection or anything like that. By the way, I make settlement on my house. Well, actually, I start to move in tomorrow. And then Friday morning is settlement. So I'll be able to get my own place, my own studio set up, everything. Thank you for being patient with me as I go through this process. It has not been easy, that's for sure. But the finish line's in sight here. So how was your day? It's been beautiful out here today. Paige and I and Lori, as you guys may know, it's Lori and I's. It's our me and Lori's anniversary today. 10 years I've been married to that woman. 10 years, and it's been wonderful. It's been absolutely wonderful. And then of course, you know, we had Paigey and Mr. Murphy pants, and it's all I could ever ask for. Now today, out of all the anniversaries that we've had, today has probably been the least, I don't know, productive, excitement. We haven't had a chance to, we can't go anywhere. We can't do anything, right? We don't have our place, so, but we'll make up for it next week when we get moved in, and we'll go out to a nice dinner and everything like that. So, beautiful day. You can see behind me here, we still got mostly sunny skies. Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at this long-range stuff, and I am not happy. Not happy at all with what I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see some huge heat getting ready to pour into the Philadelphia area, and I'm talking about big-time heat index numbers, big time. There's a couple models right now that are printing out stupid numbers. I'm being honest, just stupid numbers, like really hot, like heat index numbers approaching 105. You go down into the Carolinas and those numbers are approaching 110. So, I mean, we're going to get a stretch here. Right now, it looks like at least 5 or 6 days where we're at 90 or higher. Now, the first two aren't bad. All right, the first couple of days in the 90s are not bad at all. But then, now this is all next week. Once we get into Wednesday, it's almost like turning on the switch. It's going to open the floodgates, so to speak, here. And during the afternoon, you'll feel the humidity build. And then Thursday and Friday are just awful when it comes to the humidity. There's probably going to end up being heat advisories up just about every single day when we get from Wednesday on. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all of next week. I mean, it's July by then, right? So, I mean, this is the kind of weather that I guess you can expect, even though none of us like it. It's sort of the hand that we've been dealt. Now, again, we talked about this yesterday. It is, historically, the hottest month of the year anyway across the lower 48. So if it's going to get hot, this is the time to do it. I'd rather get it now than in, late August and early September when we're thinking football and, cooler thoughts and fall foliage and things like that. I'd rather get it now and get it out of the way. All right, let's start you out with this heat that's heading this way, and then we'll get into the possibility of some thunderstorms, and then we will talk about the weekend, which right now continues to look like a 50-50 split. All right, it doesn't look terrible, but it's not going to be this past weekend either. All right, so what I've done here is I set the NBM, the National Blend of Models, to projected highs, and we're going to start out with tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is a warm day. I mean, look at this. We're punching 87, 88 degrees here for the high up and down the I-95 corridor, but there's no humidity. All right, Thursday is still a very comfortable day. Thursday night into Friday, that's when it starts to become a little more uncomfortable. Shh, hey, no, we're live. We're live. No more bark. So Thursday night into Friday is when it gets humid out there. So these 87s that you see for, I believe that's Chester, Philadelphia International, Philly Northeast, probably places like Morristown and Cherry Hill and Mount Holly, everybody, 86, 87 degrees, Pemberton, Trenton, even up towards the Princeton area. There's going to be a lot of 86s and 87s tomorrow afternoon. It's got 88 in Wilmington and 87 in Dover, 85 in Millville. But it's going to actually feel like the numbers that you see in front of you because the humidity's not bad. Then we get into Friday. Now, Friday, we're talking about also mid to upper 80s. You can see a lot of 87s and 88s, but the humidity's not going to feel all that great. So it's going to be uncomfortable here. Heat index numbers are obviously going to be higher than that. Saturday is not bad, actually. Now, the reason for the cooler numbers is simply because of the cloud cover and the rain that's projected to push through. Now, I don't know if it's going to be an all-day rain. Right now, I'm kind of labeling it. If you go to SowersSkywatch.com, you can see our video block where I kind of do a 24/7 weather channel type forecast. And right now, I'm kind of pegging it as showers, scattered showers throughout the day. So I wouldn't call it a rain out. But at the same time, it's not going to be a great day for outdoor plans either. If you have a barbecue scheduled or a baseball game or some kind of picnic or whatever the heck you're doing, beach plans or whatever, Saturday's not the best of days. It's not awful, but it's not the best of days. Sunday, by far, is the better of the 2 weekend days. And there's a look at Sunday's highs. All right, mid-80s, across the board. Sunday's okay. Monday getting close to 90. Monday's okay. And then here we go. Here's Tuesday. Now I'm going to do this slow, all right, so you can take a look at these numbers here. That's Tuesday. It's got 93 in Philadelphia and Philly Northeast, 92 in Allentown, 91 degrees in Washington Township, 92 in Mount Holly, 92, 91 in Trenton, 93 in Wilmington, 92 in Dover, 92 in Cape May. Everybody, 92, 93 degrees. Wednesday, how about we turn the thermostat up a little bit, huh? How about we go 95, 96 in Philadelphia as well as Philly Northeast. Heading up the Northeast Extension into Quakertown and Macungie and Allentown and Bethlehem and Emmaus. All about 94, 95. Even the Poconos. Look at Mount Pocono on Wednesday, July 1st. It's got 87 degrees with the southern part of the Poconos likely touching 90. It's going to be hot even all the way up there in the higher elevations. Reading 95, Wilmington 95, Dover 95. So that's Wednesday, July 1st. Thursday, July 2nd, look at that ugly number. It's got 97 at PHL, 97 in Philly Northeast, 97 in Chester, Allentown 95, Trenton 95, Wilmington 97, Millville 95, Dover 97. Thursday, more 97, or Friday, more 97s. And right now, the early call on Saturday, the 4th of July, a lot of 90s out there and extremely muggy. Speaking of muggy, all right, speaking of humidity, well, let's take a look at these numbers. So again, the first part of next week, it's hot, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every one of those days, we'll see high temperatures at 90 to 93, somewhere in that ballpark. But the humidity's not bad. All right, well, look at this. All of a sudden, we get into Thursday of next week. This is July 2nd. Look at that 104-degree temperature in York, 103 in Lancaster, 100 degrees in just about all of Chester County, as well as Philly, Philly Northeast. Obviously, we start getting numbers like that, you're going to end up seeing heat advisories issued, okay? That's Thursday. Here is a look at Friday. Oh, excuse me. Here's a look at Friday. All right. And I got to tell you right now, I think these numbers are being generous. I think they're being conservative. When I look at the national blend, all right, when I look at all the forecast models and their ensemble packages, these numbers I think are actually going to be on the low end as we get into next week. But for now, let's run with it because it's a week away. So Thursday, heat index numbers over 100. Friday, heat index numbers over 100. And then Saturday right here, also about 99 or 100 degrees. So this is the 4th of July. All right, so remember, if we go back to actual air temperatures on the 4th, we're talking about, think about how bad the humidity is going to be, okay? Think about this for a second. The high, projected high, is 92 degrees on the 4th of July, yet the heat index is 100 degrees. It's about 8-9 degrees above the actual air temperature. That means the dew points are going to be way up into the 70s. It's 4th of July. It's always muggy. It's always uncomfortable. Probably great firework weather. Hopefully we don't get Mother Nature's fireworks. But, you know, this is usually what we see on the 4th. And sure enough, right now it does not look like it's going to disappoint. Let's fast forward into Sunday the 5th. Right there. Heat index numbers in the mid-90s. Now, actual air temperatures on Sunday, it doesn't look like it goes out that far. It ends on Saturday. But there it is. There's a look at the heat index numbers here. And here's a look right here. Hope you enjoyed today. Hope you enjoy Saturday. All right, now Saturday's cooler simply because, again, the cloud cover and the rain pushing through. Remember, Thursday and Friday, upper 80s. The heat index is going to be right around 90, not awful. And then we get into next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's the possibility here that the entire stretch is 90 degrees or higher. Now, I want to show you something. All right, this is the national blend of models. This is the ensemble, so to speak, here. Remember, we were talking about this yesterday. This is the forecast. What the National Weather Service has done is they've created this thing, the NBM, the National Blend of Models, and what they've done is they've taken a whole bunch of computer data, all the global models, the Canadian, the European, the GFS. They've taken all the short-range cams, all right, the high-resolution 3K models. They've taken the ensemble packages, and they've kind of put it all together. And what the goal here, you do all this so you get the blend. That way you can eliminate mistakes that the single individually run operational forecast models would make. All right, this way you're eliminating all that. So you go with the blend. All right, it's sort of like, let's say you're in grade school, right? And you take a test and you score a 95, but your grade average is a 75. All right, you had a good test. Doesn't mean you're having a good, semester, so to speak, right, in that class, I guess, because your average is a 75, but you had a 95. All right, that's kind of what's going on here. The operational will give you that crazy number. The blend, which is right in front of you, gives you the average, okay? So this is what we're looking at. A lot of mid-90s next week. I don't like those 97s one bit. Now, here's the European. Now, this is the individual run. And again, this is why we, now look, this might be onto something here, but this is why we don't do this, because this is what the individual run is showing right now for next week. Look at that. All right. 91 Monday, 95 Tuesday, 92 Wednesday, 99 Thursday, 98 Friday, 99 Saturday, 100 air temperature Sunday, and 97 on Monday. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days in the 90s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are over 95, and 1, 2, 3 are 99 to 100. That is awful. And remember, the back end of that heat wave is going to see heat index numbers between 103 and 108. Good stuff. Oh, man. Well, like I said, what are you going to do, right? It is what it is. That's what we're up against here. What I'm hoping is, what I've noticed, and this is, I started paying attention to this when I was in Florida, of all places. And what I've noticed is the last couple of summers, we've had quite a few days here where the temperatures are approaching 100 degrees. And I'm not sure why. I'd have to take a deeper look into this, because I know the average high, during the month of July, almost the entire month of July, is 88 degrees. So it doesn't take much to hit 90, right? I mean, gosh, when the average is 88, you can hit 90 degrees by accident, okay? But when you start getting the standard deviation, all right, let me explain this so you guys have a better understanding of how this works. So the average is 88, but the standard deviation is 3, okay? There it is, 3. Meaning what's considered normal, going back through records, all, 135, 140 years worth of data, what's considered normal this time of the year, especially during the month of July, the standard deviation is 3. So that means 3 degrees on either side. So 88 is the number that they've got to put down. But 89, 90, 91, that's all considered normal. All right? 87, 86, 85, it's all considered normal. Standard deviation is 3. You get into September where you start to see the big seasonal swings. The standard deviation, actually October. I'm sorry, not September. October and November. That standard deviation jumps to 9. Okay, so now all of a sudden, if the average is 60, you get a day of 67, 68, 69. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's average. That's what happens. Okay, so that's how. I wish they would explain that better on TV. I know you just don't have the time a lot of times, but that's what the climate folks don't explain to you. They have things called standard deviation. Well, how many times do you ever, for example, how many times, the average high today is, I think, 85. How many times on June 24th, Go back all 140 years. How many times on June 24th have we actually hit 85 degrees? Think about that, all right? It's the number that they put in, because you're taking, they've got to have a 30-year climate average, okay? But again, you go by the standard deviation, which is 3 during the month of July. So if the normal is 88, 3 degrees on either side. All right, so now that we got all that out of the way, okay, So that's what's considered normal. You start pumping temperatures in the upper 90s, low 100s, that's really, really odd. All right, it happens, but you're going way above average. You're going way above the standard deviation. You're really pumping in the heat. You're really cranking it in. And that is what we've seen over the last couple of summers. And quite honestly, there's a chance we might make a run at 100 degrees again with this heat wave coming as we get into next week. So I'm going to have to look closely and see what has transpired over the last. I'll look back and I'll take a look at the actual days, the dates that we hit 100 degrees. And I'll try to match the weather pattern and see what was going on to try and give you guys some kind of idea as to why the last few years we've actually had, temperatures close to 100 degrees, if not higher. Again, it happens every now and then, but prior to, I think it was last year, it was either last year or the year before. Prior to that, we hadn't had a temperature of 100 degrees in Philadelphia since like 2011 or something. It had been a while. And now all of a sudden, I think this is going to end up being 3 summers in a row if we can do it next week. So, okay, I'm done rambling. I do this every now and then. But that's why I started this whole digital platform. There's so much knowledge up here that I can share with you guys because there's just no time on TV to ever get into all this stuff. Now I have all the time in the world. I could sit online with you for another half hour and we could talk about all this stuff if you wanted me to. That's the best part about this. When we go into a live severe weather coverage, I could stay on all night. You know what I mean? And I can explain every little thing. Boeing segments, linear segments, squall lines, supercells. I mean, I can get into everything. And that's the whole point of this, to kind of take weather to the next level. And I'm really, really happy that you guys have been tuning in. We did huge numbers during that severe coverage we had the other night. And that means you guys are watching and you're interested, in what we're doing. And I'm very thankful for that. We're starting to get some sponsors now, and I'm thankful for that. And it's just, this is my dream initially was television. And, for 26 years I did TV and had a blast. I love TV. If I ever have a chance to jump into TV again, yeah, sure, I probably would absolutely go for it. But I love what I'm doing right now. Love what I do right now. This is a lot of fun. I have all the time in the world to do what I love to do, and that's weather. All right, I got to stop talking because I am really rambling here. Okay. Bear with me, guys, because I'm on this new system here where I'm going live on Roku and SowersSkywatch.com and YouTube and Facebook. I figured it out how to get everything going, but what I haven't figured out yet, I haven't mastered this yet, is how to end it. So I'm going to start pushing some buttons. So if all of a sudden I disappear, that means I found the right button. So let me go. All right, hold on. Let's see. I don't know what I'm hitting here. Oh, this could be really, really bad. All right, let's go here. All right. Do that.